Pushback at People's Park tonight. Dozens of protesters hitting the streets of Berkeley, calling for an end to construction plans at that historic site.
It's just so horrible to me, and I want people to be out here and outraged.
We're fighting to ensure that they can keep that public place. That's their place.
The conflict between police and protesters at People's Park nearing 24 hours. Good evening. I'm Julie Hayner.
And I'm Mike Meeback. Tonight, demonstrators are gathering right near the park after police cleared it out overnight. This is all part of a plan by UC Berkeley to build student housing. KTVU's Amber Lee live tonight in Berkeley near the park, where police have set up a barricade to keep people out. Amber.
Mike, we're just off of Telegraph Avenue. We're behind a police barricade set up by the California Highway Patrol. You can see the officers there. Just up the hill from them, you see these shipping containers. That's where People's Park is located. Emotions ran high throughout the day, and a total of 11 people have been arrested.
It's kind of like the only space that kind of feels like a campus.
Dozens of protesters gathered at the intersection of Dwight Way and Telegraph Avenue, about a block from People's Park, kept back by police barricades. As of Thursday night, we saw crews with forklifts continuing to move shipping containers into place to create a physical barrier around the park.
What does it make a difference if someone decides to live in a park and someone decides to live in an apartment? It's because one person can afford to and one person can't.
Protesters, including college students, say they cannot stand by and watch construction crews go into the park and take over what they describe as a historic community space.
I've been to People's Park. I go there to make art. That's my space where I can just be and I can talk to beautiful people, and I'm watching that get erased.
Law enforcement took action at the park Wednesday night, starting at around 11:30, removing people and crews tearing down makeshift structures and stacking shipping containers to keep people out. The university is waiting for a decision from the California Supreme Court before construction on student housing can begin.
It's an extraordinary measure, but we felt in order to close the park completely, which has become a pretty significant location of crime, we needed to do something extraordinary, and that was to use these shipping containers to seal off the park until we complete construction of urgently needed student housing.
One protester who says he's a junior at UC Berkeley tells me the resolve to keep People's Park as is remains firm. He says they intend to reoccupy the space.
The form that's going to take, we don't know specifically yet. The most important thing is to keep momentum going, keep people angry about what's happening to the park, and sustain numbers.
The university's housing plan will take up about 1/3 of the park, and 2/3 will remain as green space. The project is slated to have 1,100 new student beds, with a portion of housing designated for low-income or homeless people. Student protesters question the timing of the university clearing out the park.
Why do they choose right now when all the students are out till the 7th? Why are they choosing when the council's out till the 7th? Why are they choosing? Because we don't have numbers. They're taking advantage of us.
Campus police arrested 7 people for trespassing this morning. They were cited and released. Berkeley police tell me they arrested 4 people for charges including resisting arrest, trying to remove police barricades, and battery on an officer. A UC Berkeley spokesman tells me it'll take about 3 to 4 days before the barricades will come down. That's when they expect the fencing around the park to be complete. Mike?
I mean, shipping containers used as barricades, it's something you don't see every day. Is there a chance, Amber, that those shipping containers could actually stay there longer than 3 or 4 days?
Absolutely. At this point, they say that's a conservative estimate, but who knows, right? I mean, it depends on what the protesters do. I mean, they've been, at sometimes the emotions have ran high.
Yeah.
When we came out here around 7:30 tonight, things looked fairly calm. People were passionate, but it was largely peaceful in the more recent hours tonight.
All right, Amber Lee live tonight in Berkeley. Amber, thank you. Now, the site of People's Park has faced decades of uncertainty. That lot originally had homes on it when UC Berkeley bought it in 1967 through eminent domain. The university demolished what was there and planned to build dorms, but ran out of funding. In 1969, protests were held calling for the space to be reserved as a park. A free speech demonstration there turned violent, culminating in then-Governor Ronald Reagan sending in 2,700 National Guard troops. In the 70s, the university's attempt to turn it into a rec center and parking lot were also met with opposition. The university revived plans for student housing at the site in 2018.